go wrong with oatmeal and blueberries for breakfast. So last night I was out to dinner with my sister-in-law. She's here visiting from England. Her husband, my brother, is in the Air Force, and they are living in England right now, and she's here for a couple of weeks visiting, and so we don't get to see her very much, once or twice a year at the most. And so she and I took some time last night to go to dinner and to just catch up and spend some time together. And she and I have some very similar hobbies and interests. She is a group fitness instructor and loves all things health and fitness and exercise. And I'm kind of the same way, so we definitely bond over that quite a bit when we do get together. We just got talking a lot about some of those things that we both do that help us feel fulfilled and happy outside of our daily responsibilities, whether that's work or family life or whatever it may be. We both realized a few years ago how vitally important it was to take some time for ourselves and to figure out some of those things that we like to do that are just for us, that are just purely for our own enjoyment, our own fulfillment, that help us grow, help us progress, help us learn, and help us become better people. And I got to thinking how important that's been for me. For a lot of years, my sole focus was my family and just being a mom. I was a stay-at-home mom all the years that my kids were little, and I thought that's all I need to feel fulfilled and happy. And yet there was a lot of times when I wondered, why am I not happy? I have a beautiful little family, healthy kids, a roof over our heads, so much to be thankful for, and yet something was kind of missing. And I couldn't figure out what it was because in my mind, I had everything I ever wanted. So I've taken some time over the last few years to try and figure out what that is, because as much as I love being a mom and it is my most important responsibility and something that brings me so much joy and fulfillment and happiness, there is more to me than being a mom and being a wife and being a homemaker. But I didn't realize that for a long time. So I've taken the last few years to kind of figure out what is going to help me feel more complete and more fulfilled. And there are a lot of things that I have learned along the way that help me feel really good. And today I just wanted to share maybe 2 or 3 of those things that I do that helps me kind of fill in those gaps and helps me feel more me. So these are not the only things that I do to fill my cup, so to speak, but they're just 3 things kind of off the top of my head that are pretty important to me. So one of those things that I think is really important for probably all of us is having those people in our lives who are our support system, who love us no matter what, who help us see more in ourselves than we can often see in ourselves, and who we know we can trust and rely on. And as I'm talking about my sister-in-law, she is one of those people. She is one person in my life who is so good at building me up and seeing things in me that I don't see in myself or won't see in myself. And not only does she see them, but she tells me about those things. She's all about helping me feel good about myself, and she's not just, it's not just fluff. She's not just sharing things with me that are not true. She is one of the best listeners that I know. I know if I have a problem or if we just are together and we're just hanging out and talking, I have her full undivided attention. And I feel like that's rare in life, to have somebody who will just truly sit and listen to you and be fully invested in what you're sharing with them in that moment. And I feel so blessed to have people like that in my life who love me for who I am, who see the good in me and try to help me see it myself. And I don't think you can put a price on that. It's invaluable, and I feel truly blessed to have her in my life, and especially when we can actually get together in person, which isn't very much. So I truly cherish those times with her, whether it's FaceTiming on the phone or when we can actually get together in person. We just have a lot of fun, and she makes me feel good about myself, and she makes me feel heard. And that's invaluable, because most of the time it's tough to find people like that who are truly that invested and that interested in who you are and how you're doing and how they can help you. And I hope that as I get so much from her, I hope I give that much back. Sometimes I wonder if I give that much to her as well. And so she helps me want to be a better person. So Catherine, here's to you. Thank you for helping me feel important and special and heard. Okay, number 2, and this is something that I talk about pretty often in a lot of my videos, and that is exercise. I feel like exercise saved my bacon last year during 2020 with all the craziness going on and all the stress and all the uncertainty and the anxiety and who knows, like all the stuff that was going on. I used exercise as a form of therapy to help me cope with all of that uncertainty and all of that stress. And it helped me not only survive and get through last year, but it actually helped me create a healthier lifestyle and healthier habits that I didn't have before. And so I'm grateful for exercise. It helps me blow off steam. It helps me kind of work through that nervous, anxious energy that wants to kind of fill my head and fill my body when I'm struggling and when life is hard. For me personally, I just know that I have to get those daily workouts in because I can manage life so much better. And I'm just happier when I move my body, when I sweat, when I get that heart rate up, when I'm breathing heavy and doing something that's good for me. I feel very fulfilled, and it's something that I really enjoy. And as I do that, I'm able to manage the stress and the anxieties that come with just life in general. I know that I'm a better mom and a better wife and just a generally better, happier person when I do these things to take care of my health. And exercise is a big, huge one for me. And like I said, it is therapeutic for me. I do it to take care of my body, but it is just as important for my mental, emotional, and spiritual health as well. My daily workouts are something I don't often budge on. I always get at least 5 in a week. I try to get 6 because I just know mentally and emotionally I need it in order to function and be sane. So 2 thumbs up for exercise. I don't know where I would be without it. Here is number 3. Getting outside and being in nature is huge for me. I just know sometimes when I'm stuck inside and I'm starting to feel kind of stressed or kind of down or kind of depressed or anxious or whatever it may be, I know that if I can just even at least step out my front door, breathe in the fresh air, I feel like not so claustrophobic. There's just something about being in nature that is soothing to my soul. And so I do spend quite a lot of time outside, whether it's sometimes I just sit on my front porch and enjoy the view. We have kind of an amazing, beautiful view from our front porch. Or it might be going for a walk. It might be going for a run. It might be hanging out, playing games with my kids outside. We also have a little bit of a hobby farm where we live. We have a few acres, so we have a few animals. We have goats and alpacas and chickens and miniature horses, and I have always been an animal person at heart. And so just getting outside and hanging out amongst our animals, I know to some might seem weird, but there is something about being with animals. It's another thing that kind of soothes my soul. And in the summertime, we have a garden, and it is so fun to go out in that garden and see what we're growing, see the fruits of our labors. It feels really good to put in the work in our garden and then to get something back from it, and that also feels very rewarding and fulfilling for me. So there are a lot of things connected with being out in nature for me that fill my cup and that help me feel good and just feel happy and at peace. I also love to get out and hike. We live close to Zion National Park and Bryce Canyon National Park, and these places are beautiful, and so sometimes we'll take a Saturday and go hiking at Zion or Bryce, or we have some hiking trails close by that are, within 5 or 10 minutes of a drive for us. So hiking is key. I do a little mountain biking. I used to road bike. I don't do that as much now, but just getting out, exercising in nature, spending time with my family in nature, spending time outside with our farm animals and in the garden and planting flowers. Nature is huge for me, and it always just kind of soothes my soul and helps me feel good and helps me just like calm down. So those are just 3 of many things that I do to fill my cup, to help me feel good, to help me relax, to help bust stress and boredom and anxiety. And I can't stress enough how important it has been for me to find those few things that help me feel good and that are kind of just for me, outside of my daily responsibilities and all the things that I have going on. And like I said, these things just help me be happier, and in that way I can be a better mom and a better wife and a better person. So what is it that you do that fills your bucket, that brings you joy, that helps you just be a happier person? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please consider it. I would love to have you along on this journey to better health and fitness. And that is the end of this video, so I will see you again another day.